What's happening, drinkers? I'm Steve.
I'm Zach.
I'm Colby.
This is Have a Drink, Solve a Case. We're going to do things a little different this week. We have to squeeze in a workout, so we're going to head down to the gym and we're going to solve the confusing case of Jodi Huisentruit. And do back today?
Back and shoulders.
Back and shoulders. Back and shoulders, and we're going to solve Jodi Huisentruit. All right?
You curious? The wrecked pre-workout Rainbow Burst. It's not that good. Tasting.
All right, let's crack open a drink.
Better roll it open. Jodi Huisentruit was born on June 5th, 1968 in Long Prairie, Minnesota. Her parents were Imogen and Maurice Huisentruit. She had two sisters, Joanne and Jill. She had an idyllic childhood and was popular in school. She was a very skilled golfer, and she played on her state championship team. Jodi attended St. Cloud University and graduated with degrees in communication and journalism. Her future was bright. Talented and photogenic, she worked as an on-air talent at a few local television stations before moving to Mason City, Iowa, where she anchored the morning news show on KIMT TV. She was quite popular and considered bubbly and effervescent. Everyone at the studio liked her, and viewers enjoyed waking up to her.
This year's Indian summer's playing the old magician act. The sunny temperatures are here one day, then they disappear the next. This weekend's high temperatures definitely will not be in reach today. Skies are currently cloudy with a cool breeze setting in.
Exercise for noon and A. I just like it at this gym. ISO lateral front lat pull down. I don't know why I like it. I like the stability of this. So that's our first back exercise, and I think we're going to go. You may do some back rows, I'm going to do some pull-ups, I think.
And along the way, we'll probably talk about Jodi Huisentruit.
Yeah, so this is my first set.
There you go. So on Tuesday, June 27th of 1995, Jodi was late for work. This had happened before, and her producer, Amy Coons, called to wake her up at around 4 a.m. Jodi answered, barely awake, and promised to hustle down to the studio. She lived in an apartment building just a mile from the studio, and Amy didn't see a problem. Jodi never made it into work. Not that day, not ever. She's missing. Amy Coons wound up filling in for Jodi at the anchor desk, and the studio called the police for a wellness check on Jodi. When the police arrived at her apartment building, they knew something bad had happened. Her red Mazda Miata, the car she had bought a few weeks before, was parked near the entrance to the building. They found her bent car key near her vehicle and personal belongings such as earrings, a blow dryer, and her red high heels strewn about the lot. There were drag marks on the pavement. Her apartment was a little messy, but there were no signs that there had been an intruder. Her bed was made. There were oddities, though. There were empty beer cans in the sink, but she didn't drink that brand of beer. 2 empty wine glasses were on the counter. Had she had company, or did she just drink wine on 2 different occasions? And the toilet seat was up.
The cops, of course, failed to seal off the apartment, and there was a high traffic of people coming in and out, probably disturbing or destroying forensic evidence. The strongest physical lead was a partial palm print on her car. A neighbor claimed to have seen a running white van in the parking lot. Neighbors may have heard a scream in the early hours, but no one called the police. In the midst of the madness, a man named John Van Sice showed up at the parking lot. He got out of a friend's truck and explained to the cop that he believed himself to be the last person to see Jodi. He explained that he was one of her closest friends and that he had recently thrown Jodi a surprise birthday party, and she had visited him the previous night to view the 15-minute tape. Jodi had participated in a local charity golf tournament the previous afternoon and had gone to a dinner at the club. Old witnesses say she left around 8 p.m. She made a phone call from her apartment to a friend at 8:25. Van Sice's claim of viewing a 15-minute video and chatting about their lives in the middle of the timeline seems impossible. But it is possible that Jodi left earlier than people remembered. Who actually looks at their watch when someone leaves a banquet? Van Sice has clearly been the police department's person of interest ever since, though he has an alibi. A friend named LaDonna Woodford has claimed that she called him to go for a walk around 6 a.m. and he seemed fine when she met up with him. Part of Jodi's diary was anonymously sent to the local newspaper. The sender was subsequently identified as the wife of a local police officer. Her motives have never been explained. No body has ever been discovered, and there have been no sightings. Jodi Huisentruit has seemingly disappeared off the face of the earth. There are suspects, though. Here are a few.
Here's our next exercise. Crucial for a big bag. Pull-ups. Over the course of 3 years I've been training, this past year-ish I've been able to do it without that, but my back's still kind of tired, so we'll see. While he's doing that, we'll start talking about John Van Sice. He was 20 years older than Jodi, and he seemed to have at least a mild crush on her. Video from her birthday party shows John annoyed and jealous when Jodi danced with anyone but him. He says he had a girlfriend at the time. John had previously named his boat after Jodi, which seemed odd to all of her friends. He did claim to have passed a lie detector test, but it's on record that the Have a Drink family is quite skeptical about polygraph tests. The timeline doesn't match when he put his supposed visit with Jodi into it, but the timeline isn't exact. In 2017, search warrants were put out for 2 of his vehicles, apparently with the intent to check his GPS and see if he perhaps visited her unmarked grave somewhere or something. This was apparently a dead end. Van Sice has moved to Arizona, and he now claims to have Alzheimer's disease.
Well, we're waiting for Zach to decide if he's going to do the exercise. We're going to be doing a back row with a wider grip, pulling it like this to bias the upper back muscles all in here instead of the lats. This is going to help you build a thicker back. What's our next suspect?
Tony Jackson. He was a convicted serial rapist in jail for life for several attacks in the Minneapolis area. Another inmate claimed that Jackson had claimed credit for the killing and had even written a rap song claiming to have buried Jodi near a silo in another Iowa town named Tiffin. The area was searched, but no body was found. Jackson had been a star athlete and had once considered getting into television himself. He claims to have never met Jodi, though some witnesses claim that he did.
And now we're on Zach's 18th rep. Usually you're going to want to do these exercises to failure. I wasn't looking what he was doing, but with the look he's giving me, I think he thinks he went to failure.
Here's what we're doing next. Very simple. You can spam these since it's a small muscle, but I don't do it every time. Very effective. Lateral raises. Just like this.
Our next suspect is
A local stranger. Jodi had reported that a white truck had followed her when she was jogging less than a year before her disappearance. It's not hard to believe that a local became fixated on her. It would have been very easy to follow her and find her apartment and figure out her work schedule. Disposing of her body would have been easy. Bodies have been found oftentimes in basements and backyards.
Okay. Next exercise is going to just be a standard shoulder press with dumbbells. Front delt. I got 30s.
what's the next suspect?
Next suspect is Jerry Burns. In 2018, DNA connected him to the murder of a teenager named Michelle Martinko. Michelle's body was found in her car at a mall in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in 1979. She'd been stabbed 29 times, but not sexually assaulted. Burns was a complete stranger to his victim and had apparently come to Cedar Rapids looking for a victim. At the time, he lived a few hours away. When Burns was initially questioned by police about the Michelle Martinko murder, he oddly mentioned Jodi Huisentruit. Jodi and Michelle looked very much alike. Both were blonde and pretty, and their facial structures were similar. Though convicted, Burns still claims his innocence in the murder of Martinko and says he had nothing to do with Jodi's disappearance.
The last exercise we're doing is just a rear delt fly, rear fly. You
can do it on a pec deck. You can do it with dumbbells like this. Much ways to do it. Those are the main two. I like doing it on here. I have more stability with the pad. And yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts on the case?
On the case. I don't think it was that Tony guy. He was a rapist, and that's bad. But he didn't have a history of like murder. And, I saw him interviewed, and I know he's like a sociopath, but he sounded convincing to me that it wasn't him. Do you have any thoughts, Zach?
I don't really think it was like. I don't think it was any of like the suspects that were just like, "Hey, I did it." Like no, anyone who claimed to be like the person, I don't think it was any of them.
I think it's just some random dude, some guy who lives nearby and knew her schedule.
Yeah.
Apparently it wasn't very hard to figure out. And just grabbed her, and then we talked about earlier like how you get rid of the body so quick. But if it wasn't a suspect that we have on the list, you know,
If it's
just a random dude, let's say he owns any land, right? It's just a random dude. They're not going to be able to. Obviously, they don't know who it is if this is the scenario.
if it was a local guy, then he could have just grabbed her, taken to his house, put her in the basement,
It would have been
and
simple,
then disposed of the body. But
simple as this. He somehow gets her, throws him in the back of the car, drives away. We have heard talk of the mysterious. There's like this white man. There's a white man in every crime.
there's always a white man.
So I don't think I agree with you. I don't think it was Tony.
Tony Jackson.
I think that if he did it, he would have said he did it.
Maybe. I think he found God, so maybe.
Honestly, I know.
But he's a
Tony-
sociopath.
What was the first guy's name? I'm blanking right here.
John Van
Slyce?
Slice.
John Van whatever.
Weird dude.
He's a weird dude, but for whatever reason, I just don't think
He was
did it.
definitely in love with her.
Definitely into her.
She
And I
was
think
not
maybe
into
he
him.
was there the night before, but he has an alibi. We don't know how solid it is, but he has one. If they somehow figure out it's not true, then boom. But I think they would have found evidence by now.
What, Zach? What do you think is the weirdest thing about this whole thing? I think the toilet seat was up.
Yes.
I mean, 4 o'clock in the morning when she gets the phone call to go into work, and the toilet seat is up. I mean,
Maybe there was people there the night before. I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, it just
could
makes me
be.
think something.
I mean,
happened.
she did like the party.
She did.
She did.
She. I don't know if she liked the party, but she definitely had like a whole crew that she liked to go to the bar with. And I don't know how much she personally drank. She was just a little thing, so she probably couldn't drink that much. But you're right. Let's go upstairs and we can finish up our workout and finish up this conversation.
So, Dad, how good are you at hitting the heavy bag?
Well, I'd say I'm at expert level. My only flaws: footwork, hand speed, defense, and most movement. Otherwise, I'm
Master.
my hands don't, hit as fast as but I still have some power, so I can, like the key is balls of your feet, right? So you keep your hands up, even when you're hitting just the bag, because if you're in a real fight, you want to be in the habit of keeping your hands up. It'll save your life in a real fight. You get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not the best way to do it. So I think when I've heard about this case, I always thought it was John Van Slyce. I really did, because he's in the, he was into her. The timeline was really strange. Like he said, she came over to his house, but then she got a phone call. She made a phone call when she got home, and nothing really matched up. But I just think he might just be a weird guy, because I don't know how he possibly could have gotten rid of the body that fast, right? Can you? I mean, I guess he could have put her in the trunk and done it later. I guess that's possible. But I've been going for the local dirt bag to quote Maura Murray's dad, Fred, the local dirtbag, it makes sense to me. Like some guy just been into her for a while. I don't think it was Jerry Burns, although I would not be shocked, because you know, he drove 2 hours to kill that other random girl the other time.
It's definitely not him.
But it's not him. He's probably done something else though. I doubt he just stopped for 30 years. So I think I'm like 51% that it's John Van Sice. Maybe, allegedly, he's still alive. So I don't want to accuse him of anything. And I'm 49% local weirdo because you know she had stalker problems in the past, and that just makes more sense. Like somebody grabbed her and maybe like you know years from now they'll find her underneath somebody's rose bush or something. I don't know, but I don't know. But those are the two. I don't think it's any of the other people. It's either John Van Sice or it's a local guy grabbed her, you know, kind of a stalker, grabbed her, did whatever, and then he buried her in the backyard or in the basement, which is sad. You know, and I hope I'm wrong, you know, but that's what I think.
What do you think, Zach?
I think it was this random guy.
Okay, can you two give me an example of what you would do to this killer on the punching bag? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, get it. Yeah. Oh, Zach's down.
That happens. Sometimes I just hit the bag too hard.
Okay.
Anybody else want to use the gloves?
Walk up to the mirror. Get a cheeky. Okay. Zach, record me. Come here. Record me. This is what I look like. Good. Okay. Dad's still going. Oh, that was the knockout blow. He's dead. Or he's gone.
I'm done.
I think this is that's
so,
it.
Zach, what was your vote?
Random guy. I think we're all random guy.
Random guy or John Van Sice?
Okay. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment, maybe subscribe. We'll probably do this type format again. I really liked it.
If you have any problems, any criticisms, we'll try to do better.
And comment them, you know, for the. We'll respond. He likes responding to people, so.
All right.
And we'll get Zach in the final shot. Hit us with a pose. Oh, look at that! Look at that man. Okay. See you guys. Bye. Hey guys. I really hope you enjoyed our video. Just wanted to say we got a lot of our information from findjodi.com. I'll link it in the description below, and if you guys have any cases you want us to look at, solved, unsolved, anything like that, leave it in the comments. We'll get back to you. Tell us who you think killed or kidnapped Jodi, or just what you think happened down below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. See you guys next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.